Hey everyone, hope that you're doing really, really well. Is it mostly about the money, or has the NHL free agency landscape changed? Who should the Canucks be targeting during NHL free agency? Fans want to know, and who will want to actually sign in Vancouver? These are the questions we're going to be asking tonight. I'm going to hit the intro and we're going to get right into it. So glad that you're here. Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and tonight, this morning, whenever you're watching this video, understand that I'm just glad that you're here, because these conversations, everyone, these conversations are massive, absolutely massive, and they're important. They're absolutely important because we just need to know if the landscape has changed. The absolute, have you ever wondered about that when it comes to players wanting to sign in certain different places? Why do they sign here? Why do they not sign there? It's just interesting stuff. Does money always talk? You know what I mean? You remember, wasn't it AC/DC or someone who wrote that song "Money Talks"? And you know that is the mantra. It's like, hey, listen, you just offer a guy enough money and he's coming to your team. You overpay, and that's what free agency is all about, is overpayment to fix your problems, right? And this season, no difference at all. No difference at all. The teams are going to be going hard after certain players who've proven it, who maybe are a little too costly for their team's salary cap situation. And next thing you know, you've got all kinds of stuff happening, and it works out to be, I don't know if it's always good for the teams, but I mean, it can be a difference maker. Excuse me. Sometimes I like NHL free agency a little bit more than trade deadline day, because at least you're getting something in return, where these last minute acquisitions at trade deadline day for rental players, it's a huge cost, and there's not much in return if we're honest. But sometimes when I start looking at free agency, I'm feeling that free agency has now changed, or maybe I'm just waking up to the fact that there has been a change. So every team's trying to win the Stanley Cup. Right now, there's only 4 teams remaining. The Vancouver Canucks want to be one of those teams that eventually win their first Stanley Cup. I know as Canuck fans, that is our hope and desire. And if you're like me, you wanna just once before you die, you know what I mean? Just once before you die, want our team to win a Stanley Cup, right? To win a Stanley Cup. Now, when a team is looking at different free agents, and players go into that, very interesting, and agents go into that, very interesting. They are talking about leverage. They're talking about desire and interest and all kinds of factors. So let's talk about the factors, okay? In my opinion, the factors are many, okay? Number one, of course, always it comes down to some money. Now, the question about the money part is like how much you actually taking home. You know, like maybe you got a bonus at work and you were thinking you were going to get this amount of money, and you get your paycheck or your bonus paycheck, and you realize with all the taxes that are taken off and all that kind of stuff, it's nothing that you were hoping. So when we see, like 7.5 million for this player, what do they actually bring home? And that's why these teams that are in states that have no tax or very little tax have massive advantage. And if I know this correctly, it's Florida, it's Vegas, right? It's teams like Vegas, Utah, I believe, has that tax exemption as well. And I think those are one of the reasons why those teams are going to always be in the mix, because players can go there and literally take less and still make more than if you were in a Canadian market or a different U.S. market that has a different tax system. Now, the other thing that so money does matter. It depends where you play. It depends on availability. If a team wants you, of course. And then there's this other thing called term. And this is where, like, for example, a player like Brock Besser and the Vancouver Canucks have been in disagreement. I think the money's there. They're arguing about the term. And too many teams have overspent in regards to term during free agency. For example, and money can be. For example, Canucks have been bitten a few times. Let's just think about Louis Eriksson and Tyler Myers. Overpaid for the production, especially Louis Eriksson. Had 30 goals with Boston. Next season with Vancouver, I believe, had 11. 11! That's what we're talking about, everyone. He cashed in at the right time. $6 million times 6 years. I think that's what he made. Tyler Myers, $6 million times 6 years. His contract actually started making sense for the Vancouver Canucks in the last year and a half of that contract. So, I mean, this is where players, they're guaranteed contracts, right? That's why it's such a big deal. Even with coaches, and it doesn't affect the cap at all, but there are guaranteed contracts as well. So if you sign a 3-year deal, you get fired in year one, you still get all those years, man. I mean, think about that for a second. That is, I mean, I believe the Canucks were on the hook for 3 coaches at one time, maybe 4. And I mean, it's easy for us to say, fire the coach. And it's like, yeah, but Aquilini is like, yeah, but I'm spending this much money and those guys aren't even working for us anymore. Free agency, at least there's like, you're getting something in return. It's not like the rental market at the trade deadline. But that term is very, very important. For example, a guy like Zdorov was looking for term. Most guys are looking for term. They want longer term because that is going to help them with security. And the security comes into their financial security, getting taken care of, as well as it comes down to family. Families matter when they factor in the free agency. So actually, I should probably put that in there, right? The free agency factors. That would probably say it better. So we talked about the money. We talked about the term equaling security. But family, we don't think about the family dynamics enough. I've personally met McKinnon. McKinnon. Why am I Dean McCammon? That's it. Dean McCammon. Sorry, I apologize, Dean. Why did I have a brain outage there? Okay, so he was telling us, sitting down with him, talking about it, and everyone's like, oh, it's so great to work in the NHL. And he's like, yes, yeah, for sure. You're living your dream. You're doing that stuff. But there's a toll on the family. People are like, don't care. You make millions. Well, not everyone makes millions. Maybe it's hundreds of thousands. And there's, I mean, think about how expensive it is to live in this world nowadays. And Dean, I can't remember if Dean told me, I think it was he played in 6 cities in 6 seasons. Like, that's not So yeah, like it's great and everything, but he's got to be smart. It's money. There's not everyone's making McDavid money or Kucherov money or McDrysaddle money or Elias Pettersson money. A lot of guys are. I mean, it's tighter, and your mind's like, hey, well, and you got to remember that, right? Like Dean McCammon played almost in 1,000 games, guys. If he would have played now, he would have made a lot of money. But yeah, it wasn't as easy as it is today. Now, today it's more expensive, all that kind of stuff. But the reason why I talk about family is we don't talk enough about what the spouse wants. Sometimes the money can be there, the term can be there, and the spouse is like, I don't want to live there. I don't want to live in, name whatever city. It doesn't matter what Canadian city. Maybe I don't want to live in Toronto. Maybe I don't want to live in Vancouver. Maybe I don't want to live in Winnipeg or Calgary or Edmonton or Ottawa or, you know what I mean? Like just name the teams. Montreal. Maybe you don't want to live in Montreal. You don't want the pressure, or, you know, you're too far away from family, or, you know what I mean? Like there is so much, or our spouse might say, I want to live somewhere where it's hot. I mean, you're going to be at work anyways and off on the road. I want to enjoy life. So I want to be in California, or I want to be in Florida. I want to be in some of these states. Maybe I want to be in Texas. You know what I mean? Like maybe you want to go play for the Stars because of that. There's so much. And then there's the whole thing about team dynamics, right? The team dynamics is an important piece as well, because that would include like who you're playing with. Maybe you've got a guy on the team that you want to go play with, right? That's an important piece. You're going to make the similar amount of money here and here and here, and you're going to pick here because you get to play with your buddy. That makes sense to me. And then fan bases are losing their minds going, how come? And it's like, well, it had nothing to do with your team, your franchise, your cup contender potential. Didn't have anything to do with that. They wanted to go play with Billy. And Billy and you, it's like, hey, man. Or you want to go play with his brother. We know that. Quinn Hughes, is he going to go jump ship and go play with his brothers? Is his brothers going to come and play in Vancouver? We don't know. They just might. And this is the coolest thing about it, everyone. I actually, it's not the coolest thing. It's just one of the factors, the free agency factors that's important to remind ourselves. Who you playing with? Is your skill sets going to come alive if you go to such and such a place and play with such and such a player? It's a good question to ask. And then who's the coach? Who's the management? Who's going to be sitting there? What kind of coach is coming? Like, remember when we got Tortorella to come be the Canucks head coach? Tortorella is a very, very very good coach. He's intelligent. He knows the game extremely well. Not a great motivator. He's a yeller. He demands a lot, which there's nothing wrong with demanding a lot. I mean, you're getting paid. He's in the hot seat as well. But you brought in Tortorella when we had the Twins. Terrible idea. I don't know whose idea was like, hey, two of the kindest dudes in the world, and you're going to have Tortorella come in and just yell at the Twins? Maybe he never yelled at them. Maybe he just yelled at the whole team. I don't know. I was just at a basketball tournament this weekend watching my son, and we were up by 6 points at halftime. And the opposing coach just ripped into his team. Like every single thing. He was yelling at this guy, called timeout, yelling at that guy. And they was yelling like, you guys need to do this, blah, blah, blah. So we're just fine. I mean, coaches need to have stern conversations with their players. And then halftime happens, still mad, still yelling, still upset. They came back on us, and we end up going into overtime. I mean, he were down by 6 at halftime. No, he's not happy. He's not happy. Overtime happens. They ended up beating us, and it is what it is. We lost the game. Good game, close game, two good teams battling it out. And then we went into the game ended. We went in, and this coach literally just berated his players for a good 10 to maybe 20 minutes. Think about that. You guys just won in overtime. You were behind at halftime, and now you won. There's no like, hey, good job, Billy, and hey, good doing. Why? It was all second guessing. Why aren't you doing this? And you guys aren't playing your potential, and blah blah blah. It's like, man, I just know as a human being, it's nice to be encouraged too, right? Like it's okay to have constructive criticism, 100%. But what kind of coach do you have in place? That's important to players. They're like, hey man, I had that guy in junior. I never, ever want to sign there. Sorry. That's not the place I want to go. That makes sense to me. Why would you go there? Now, if it's like, oh, that's the only place you're going to get a decent contract, you might consider, because sometimes money talks. You try to make as much money as possible. But this is a really, really important piece that I think people need to think about. Who's your coach? Does he fit? Can he motivate you? Can he get enough out of you? Is it always going to be berating? Is it always going to be, where's the encouragement too, right? Where's behind closed doors? We can have the tough conversations, but as well, like, are you going to have that coach that just talks about you in the media and just, I mean, think about it. Drags you through the mud publicly. Is that the kind of coach you want to have? Probably not. Probably not. And then, of course, every player wants to win a Stanley Cup or 2 or 3. It's all about legacy. All of them want to do that. All of them have dreamt that. All of them want that. But sometimes all these other things get in the way. But if you have a chance to win a cup with the team, you're going to likely go, hey, it's like if a team like, let's just use Florida or Edmonton or Dallas or Carolina right now. They're all in the hunt. Well, in the hunt. And you can go there and say, I'm going to be that piece that they need to help win this cup, or to be a part of that team, or, when it was Tampa Bay, when it was Vegas, when it was, name whatever team was in the hunt. That's important. So there's all kinds of free agency factors. So is it just about money? Not always. Depending if it's all close, then you have all these other factors, or has NHL free agency changed? I'm leaning on the sense that free agency has changed quite a bit. Now, as Canuck fans, there is so much conversation regarding this. Okay. And I want to show you, so the AFP analytics, I want to show you the top fives. I've been following their X account, and they just have so many cool things on there. And I wanted to show you a couple of them. It's going to go over top of my face here, but I want to discuss some of these things. Excuse me. Still getting over my sickness. So, come on. Just the ice is there. Okay. So, we're going to dive into this. But first of all, I want to show you the one I made and from it, okay? No, wait a minute. I want to show you this. No, I'll show you this one first. This is the Canucks one, okay? The Canucks one. Nah. Let's go into the top UFA centers. Let's do that. And then we'll get into the Canucks stuff after that. After these AFP top fives. Okay, so this is their contract projections. So here it is, okay? John Tavares, centerman, right? Unrestricted free agent. They believe he's going to get a 3-year contract at $7.9 million. That's what he's going to go for. Many people believe that he's going to land in Toronto. $7.9 million, everyone. He's making $11 million right now. That is pretty interesting, if you ask me. It's pretty interesting. Absolutely interesting. Now, does he sign back with Toronto, or does he want, I just bring this down. Does he want more money than that? What if he wants $9 million and the Toronto Maple Leafs are like, we'll offer you 7.9 for the next 3 years, and someone says, well, I'll offer you 10. I'll offer you 10. We need a guy like you, John. And JT goes, I'll go there. I'll go there. I mean, that's a lot of people are like, oh, he loves Toronto. He grew up in that. He wants to bring Toronto their first cup. And it's like, yeah, maybe. But I want you to know something about this free agency, especially with the cap going up, people are going to get paid stupid money. You're going to sit there and look at some of these contracts that people are going to sign. You're going to like say, what? He made how much? It's all about supply and demand. It's all about need. It's all about trying to land the big fishes here and there. Let's go back to this. Matt Duchene, who you know I absolutely love as a hockey player. They're projecting 3 years times 7.2 million. I believe he makes $3 million a year right now. He is one of the most underpaid guy in the NHL at the moment. They believe that Brock Nelson for Colorado could get 3 years, 7.1. Sam Bennett, and we'll talk about that in a second. 6 years, 6.6 million. Okay. I believe he makes $3 million a year. Let me just bring that up. Florida. Let's go to Florida here. I believe it's $3 million. Is that right? He makes currently, where's Bennett? Oh, it says UFA. Let's just go to here. He is making $3 million, is it right? Anyways, doesn't matter. The point being is that he was making, his cap hit was 4.43 this season. 4.43. Okay. So Sam Bennett, 6.6. Pia Suter, our beloved Pia Suter, who made $1.9 million, is reported to get 4 years at $5 million. I mean, those are huge increases, right, for those two guys. But let's talk about Sam Bennett just for a moment, because I know a ton of you want to talk about Sam. Canucks fans are obsessed. We're saying that's the guy we want. Guess what? I've been talking to Leaf fans over and over and over. I'm so fascinated by the Leaf conversation, what that team's going to look like. It is so interesting on so many levels to me. I've consumed a ton of Leaf content and content creators like YouTube creators or social media people, or even some of the former players, TSN and different ones there, Chris Johnston. There's all kinds of guys that I've been consuming content. Darren Dreger, no, not Darren Dreger. Yeah, Darren Dreger. There's so many guys. Is that right? Who's the former player? Anyways, I feel like I'm kind of a little bit over it. The point being is I've done a ton, and I'll tell you right now. Excuse me. The players, or the Leaf fans are convinced that they're going to land Sam Bennett. If Mitch Marner walks, they're going to have a lot of money sitting there. There's going to be a lot. Is Sam Bennett going to get $10 million this season at AAV? It is possible. It is more than possible. It's crazy when you start thinking about it. I would be shocked if he made 6.6, guys. I think he's going to make a minimum of 8 to 10. 8 to 10, and people are going to be happy that they landed this playoff player. I mean, what does he score, like 50 points a year? Like that's what we're talking here, right? 50 points a year. That's what he just scored this year. 76 games, 25 goals, 26 assists. But he does way more than just score points. He's a playoff kind of guy. Let's look at the AFP top 5 restricted free agent centers and what they think they're worth. Marco Rossi from These are all long-term. These are 2 long-term contracts. The ones at the top. From the Minnesota Wild, 7 years at 7.4 million. It sounds like to me that Minnesota does not want to spend that much money on him. And there is an impasse there. That's why he might be available for an offer sheet. But 7.74, guys, times 7, that's crazy. Mason McTavish, right? Again, long-term contract. Anaheim, 6. He's played for Anaheim. He's going to land a 6 years, 6.8 million. He hasn't played to that potential yet, right? Morgan Frost from Calgary, 5 years, 5.8. Ryan McLeod, 3 years, 4.8. Noah Cates, okay? 3 years, 4.6. Like that's what we're talking about. And then let's talk about a lot of you are sitting there going, well, let's talk about the AFP top 5 wingers, unrestricted UFA wingers. They're predicting Mitch Marner is going to get 7 years, 13 million. You heard that right. He's making 10.9 right now. Okay. 10.9 right now. If he walks from Toronto, like, is Toronto going to offer him 12 million? 13 million? I think he walks. And if he walks, he is the best player available, everyone. The best player available in free agency. $13 million. Do you pay Mitch? I'm telling you right now, I'd pay Mitch Marner $13 million because we paid Elias Pettersson 11.6, and we couldn't get to the playoffs. He scored 45 points, and that's not the only reason why. Injuries, the rift, all kinds of things in Vancouver. The drama has been crazy, right? But Mitch Marner, at least Mitch Marner, good chance he wouldn't like score half of what he can do. 13 million, everyone. They believe that Brock Besser is going to get 8.5 times 6 years. Canucks reportedly offered him 8 times 5. He said no. He wants that extra year, and he might get extra money. He might make 9.5, everyone. That could happen. Don't be surprised on July 1st that Brock Besser signs for $9 million times 6 or 7 years. I wouldn't be surprised if the Toronto Maple Leafs go and get Brock Besser. He's not as good as Mitch Marner, but I'll tell you, you put him with some of these centers they have, he might be able to score 40 goals a year, no problem. No problem. Then you have Nicola Ehlers, right? From Winnipeg. A lot of people saying he wants to go 6 years, 8.1 million, they say he's worth, right? Are the Canucks or whoever willing to do 6 years by 8 times 1? A lot of people are like, well, he's injury prone. He might be. He might be. So is Brock Besser, technically. A lot of injuries, a lot of things that went on. I don't know if I'd label him as injury prone, but Ehlers is in that category, right? That's a lot of money to invest in a guy who might not play in your team all 82 games, right? Let's go back here. Brad Marchand playing great in Florida. Does he stay in Florida? Does he make 5.1 in Florida? Or is he going to go make less and stay in Florida? Does he want to go somewhere else, make a little bit more money? He's an older guy, right? He's definitely an older guy. Let me just bring that up. He is 37 years old, everyone. Is he going to play till he's 39? Palmieri? What about him? 2 years, $5 million? That's huge, everyone. And this is the one that I brought up a long time ago. This is the Brock versus 5.8, the PS hitter. Well, now it's jumped to $5 million, which is crazy. Forbert, 1 year, $1.53 million. Breezeball, Juleson, PDG projected at $775,000. Ratu, would you pay Ratu 1 year, 104? I think most Canuck fans would. Sasson, just under $1 million a year. if obviously these you got to play in the big club to make all these money. Archdeep Baines, 1 year, $810,000. Tolo Pilo, is he going to make just under $1 million? Like these are the questions you're asking, right? And can you afford them? And build a team? Because in all honesty, we couldn't afford a Marner and a Tavares to come to Vancouver. But could we afford, I don't know, like, so off that list, let's go centers again. No, those are restricted free agents. Duchesne for 7. No, okay, well, I think Sam Bennett's going to get 8 to 10. So let's just go Duchesne. You want to pay Duchesne at $7 million times 3 years, and then go get yourself an Ehlers for 6 years at 8.1. Can we afford to do that? And the question is, who do you want the Canucks to sign? And who's going to show up? Who wants to play for you? Right? Who wants to play for the Vancouver Canucks? With all these factors, money, term, family, team dynamics, including players, coach, management, and are we going to be a cup contender one day? They are all looking at that. I'm surprised we didn't land Tyler Myers for less, because he had a house in Kelowna, wanted to come back to BC. 6 times 6, everyone. And then when it comes to guys like Mitch Marner, again, where is he going to actually end up? How much will he sign for? And you've heard me say, actually, I haven't said that. I think I've said this, but I think he gets between 12 and 14 million next year. I think that's what he's going to get as AAV. That is what I'm predicting. And that's why I think the Vancouver Canucks will not sign Mitch Marner. And does money talk? Because say we do offer him 13 million or 14 million and it comes to Vancouver, it'd be because of money, right? Or look at the beloved Luke Hughes that we all want to land, okay? Luke Hughes, long-term, it says, according to AFP Analytics, says long-term, they believe it's 6 years times 8.39 million. Or if you went short-term, New Jersey Devils would be 3 years times 5.75. You could do an offer sheet and try to get him. No, you can't because he's too young. He could just sign with with New Jersey, or he can demand a trade, and maybe they'll trade him. But he was the 4th pick overall. But that's what they say he's worth. Potential draft history. Hard to find guys like that, right? And let's go back to Ehlers. Again, a lot of Canuck fans want Ehlers. Wanted Sam Bennett. I think he goes out of the price range. Ehlers, I know I got in an argument the other night. I think Ehlers is a more talented player than Brock Besser, even though I love Brock Besser. I'm going to miss Brock Besser on this Canucks team. But 6 years, 8.1, I think I would do that deal for Ehlers. But I keep hearing that he wants to go play with Patrick Laine in Montreal. And really, we might offer the same contract, same term. And he's like, I want to go play with Patrick. If I'm going to play in a Canadian city, stay in Canada. Instead of coming to Vancouver, I'm going to go to Montreal. Most winningest NHL franchise ever. Not close. That will probably never be broken. The Montreal Canadiens, unfortunately, reign. What do they have? 24 cups? It's crazy. Original 6, they racked up a ton of them, right? In those early years. They were stacked for years. They were the last team to win an NHL Stanley Cup that had a team in Canada, 1993. So what happened? So We don't land Sam Bennett. We don't land Mitch Marner. We don't land Ehlers. Brock Besser walks. What is left for Vancouver to do? I feel like as Canuck fans, come July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, we're going to be disappointed. Or maybe we go and pull a rabbit out of the hat and go get a Sherwood and a Lankinen, someone like that, and these smaller contracts happen. That is the interesting piece. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of people here who have been watching this. I've been talking for 35 minutes. I want to dive into the comments, everyone. So I'm going to dive into the comments. I'm going to do a quick break, but before I do that, I'm going to hit a promo, but I want to show you something. My 2023 free agency wish list was this. Number one was Ryan Graves. I loved him. He ended up going to Pittsburgh. I wish we would have landed him, but he went for a lot of money. Number two is Matt Duchene. Cole. Did I put Colefoot? Yeah, Colefoot. Why would Colefoot be number three? Feel like, yeah, I think, what? That's weird. Did I do that wrong? Anyways, I don't remember that part, but I obviously put it down. This is what I posted years ago. Ryan O'Reilly was my number 4 guy. I love him as playoff guy. And then number 5 was Ian Cole. That's what was my wish list. I mean, if you look at that list, if we went and got Matt Duchene, if we paid him $4 million a year instead of $3 million a year, man, that would have been awesome. Ryan Graves would have been awesome. Anyways, just fun to look back on that. I don't know if you have some lists that you've done. Okay, we're going to go into the promo. We're going to try to get something out of this water, and we'll get into your comments. All right, everyone, dive into the comments. We got all kinds going on. Green is here. By the way, Rod was first one. He's talking about playoffs. I want to talk about this topic tonight. Green says money will always talk. Non-state tax teams have a huge advantage when it comes to free agents. Canadian markets will always have a tough time with free agents due to tax and U.S. exchange rates. Yep, I agree. And then he also says a more low-key lifestyle in the States for players as well. Some people want the attention. Some people hate the attention. Yeah, it is an overpay for sure. For most people, it's to fix the problems, right? So to make a successful team, you gotta definitely go through the draft, through trades. Free agency is where you find a player. You're right, Green, to potentially put you over the top from good to great, not a place where you try to make a bad team good. Excellent point. Vernon is saying Vancouver, Seattle, and all the Californian teams are probably the most undesirable places to sign for top caliber free agents. Tax-free is nice, but keeping your family safe is more important. Keeping your family safe. Keeping your family safe in Seattle? Vancouver? I guess any Canadian team can be potentially crazy. California teams, yeah, maybe. Are you talking about the fires? Are you talking about the poverty in California? I mean, Disneyland's a pretty awesome thing, right? Just saying. Martin, good to see you. Murray from New Zealand's here. You might be down here visiting your brother at VGH. Okay, cool. That's awesome, man. Eugene, media in Vancouver sucks right now. They love to stir the drama. Okay, and with Pedersen, they will continue. Well, Eugene, let's talk about what people are saying. Rick Dockett's like, I love the media. I want there to be attention. That's why people want to be in Canada, because they care. You imagine it's like you go to Anaheim and nobody even knows who you are. Some people want to be under the radar. They just want, like, you want to be a bottom 5 team forever? You want to play in a fan base that cares. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are saying all this saying the media sucks. I mean, they're just asking questions. I don't know. And it's the fans that fuel the media. Like, honestly, we're the ones that are clicking on videos and watching, are listening to podcasts and watching live streams like this one. I mean, Eugene, we're part of it too, right? Like, we love the drama. Like, drama is our like middle name in Vancouver. That's why I made a video called Canucks were drama queens. I'm interested. I don't know. Not that I'm interested in the gossip. I'm interested in the story. I'm interested in what happens. I'm interested in behind the scenes. I'm interested in why. I'm interested in to figure out who's to blame for some of the questions. Martin Lee says, "Common watch. Come on, everyone. Come on, watch the playoffs. Every team and teams every year bully their way to the Stanley Cup. Always been. I mean, playoff hockey is a different thing, right?" Julian says, not everything is about money, and that's why I made this video. If you are in the right team to succeed, you make sure to work it out. You can make way more in sponsorship later. Some players can, Julian, some players. Vipers in the building. Low taxes is the number one thing players look for in free agency. I wouldn't say it's the number one thing. But you're right. People don't understand this and think it's because of pressure, even though it isn't. The Canadian dollar tanking doesn't help either. They don't get paid in Canadian funds, I don't believe. They get paid in American funds. So, Jeevan's in the building. Good to see you. JT was coaching. No, he wasn't. That wasn't my son's team. My son's team has an incredible coach. I'm very proud of our coach. She does a great job. She knows the game. She's dedicated. She's encouraging, but also pushes the guys too. And my son's playing at a very, very high level right now. And so I love watching her coach. It wasn't mine. I was talking about the other team this weekend. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. They get paid in US dollars. Jeevan says Florida, Tampa, Dallas, and Vegas all have advantages. Players don't want to come to Canada because of taxes and the media pressure as well. That's fair. It's fair. A lot of hockey fans in Canada complain about the tax advantages, yet they vote for people that create high tax. Right, Jack? I mean, we continually do that. So teams like Florida take advantage of their markets while we don't. Yep, I agree. I think it's for players that are still trying to establish themselves in the leagues than those who are already as established. Okay. Murray says, I can see Bennett going to Seattle after the playoffs, no matter if they win or lose. Now, I personally can see Sam Bennett staying in Florida. Like, why would you go to Seattle? I wouldn't. Leah's here. Welcome. Ofshane might be tempted to stay in Florida just for the taxes. Exactly. Calvin, I think you're going to be surprised that PS Suter might be getting. I think he's going to get $4.5 to $5 million. I think that's it. Yeah, Bennett is going to crush that number. He's going to get. That's what I said. Yeah. JT fourth line. Too much. Canucks need Suter back. Yeah, Tavares is too much. But I mean, he's amazing. So getting Suter back at that rate might be the best option for the Canucks. But I don't know if they're not talking to him. They haven't offered him a contract, everyone. They can right now. They're not. The cap is going up for the next 2 seasons. Jarrett, good to see you. Welcome. I think Bennett gets $10 million if he leaves Florida. He could. I'm saying $8 to $10 million he's going to get. If I was Bennett, I would stay in Florida. I would stay with the Panthers. Yeah. So we're the same. We're in here. Bennett won't come to Canada. I wouldn't say he won't. He was in Calgary already. I agree. That's what I was talking to. Okay, so I think Toronto could get Bennett. About 10. Yep. Marner to Utah, that's possible. If you want to get free tax and you want to make $14 million, go to Utah. They can afford it. Build around that. Calvin says, if Bennett does sign in a tax fee place, does he get more or less than if he got paid at a higher amount? And it depends all about the tax situations. Julian, Nurse is making like $10 million. Well, Nurse is getting overpaid. Nurse is getting 9.25, I believe. Let me just make sure I have that correct. Excuse me. He's one of the most overpaid. Yeah. He's making 9.25 until 2030, everyone. Till 2030. Dream Canucks offseason. Jeevan says, sign Suter, signs Bennett, or trade for Larkin, sign Ehlers. You can't afford all these guys. Okay. You can't re-sign Suter for 4.5 to 5, then sign Bennett to 8 to 10, and then sign Ehlers to 8.1. You've got to do, you know what I mean? And if you trade for Larkin, what do you give up? You're going to give up Mancini, DPD, Leckermacki, or Vilander, or a first pick overall, or all, like 2 of the 3 or 2 of the 4. 2 of the 5, whatever. Yeah, Nurse is just an awful contract. Toronto will have $25 million and $0.7 million in cap space. They'll need to fill 5 forward spots. They have to sign Nyes. They've got to sign JT, which is John Tavares. And they got to find a winger to replace Pettersson. Yeah, exactly. So it's not as easy as it says, right? I don't think do they really have that much money, Viper? I don't think they have that much, do they? But he was an RFA. He's an RFA. Isn't it what I said on there? Let me just bring that back up for a second. RFA. Yeah, he's an RFA. So Buffalo can re-sign him if they want. Marner could be gone from Toronto. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be. I already heard Mitch Marner isn't re-signing Toronto, but I also heard he's not signing in Canada either. It's fine. I know they pay 11.6. Yeah. EP 40, EP 11.6. People call him EP 45 because he only scored 45 points. Marner, Minnesota doesn't have the cap space. $1 billion. $1 billion. Look at the cap going up. You got to look at the percentage of the cap, not money per year. I think all these projections are low. For example, Marner on the same percentage would be 15 million. I don't think he's going to get 15 million. But I understand what you're saying. Hey, Swerve and Irvin, thanks for the donation. The $2 donation. What's up? Good to see you. Glad that you're here, man. I'd love to hear what you have to say about who we should sign. Grayman says if 11 million produces 0, is 13 million worth it? I think this is a shot at Pettersson. He didn't produce 0. He produced 45 points. Everyone's hoping he has a bounce back year. 13 million. Oh, are you saying that Mitch Marner making 10.9 produces 0? Mitch Marner was at the time end of the second round. He was the 6th highest scorer in the NHL after round 2. Everyone says he did nothing in the playoffs. That's not true. He helped them win a round. He produced, but he only had 1 assist in the last 3 games, so that was frustrating. Getting into the playoffs is important, just saying. So he's helped them do that. I don't think Mitch Marner. I think Mitch Marner's going to make a lot of money. Yeah, Swervin Irvin, hype. Absolutely. Someone say he's going to get 9 times 5. Who are we talking about now? Are we talking about Mitch? Are we talking about Bennett? Or I don't know. I think we're talking about Besser here. Yeah, Connor Bedard's not going anywhere, but yeah, he'd be a good fit anywhere. Yeah, $9 million is a lot cheaper than Marner. Yeah. Japan 4 is in the building. Woo woo. Okay, I have Besser to Minnesota for 9 times 7. He's not going to Minnesota. They don't have the cap space, everyone. But maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Jack. 90% of Bennett is not re-signing. 90% Bennett. 90% Bennett is not re-signing, in my opinion. Okay. I hear Ehlers is re-signing him. 10.9 million for a figure skater. He's not a figure skater, guys. He's a top 5 right winger in the NHL. He's a top 5. The hate has gone too far on Mitch Marner, in my opinion. Like him. I don't know if he's worth the money he's making, but he's a top 5 guy. Yeah, people can argue for sure, Swervin Irvin, that he's injury prone. Again, I'd put my money on that. Not money. My guess is that he's going to end up in Toronto. Big Hog is in the building. Good to see ya. I hear Winnipeg is re-signing Ehlers. I haven't heard that. All injuries Brock has had, they haven't been the same injury every time. Yeah, he's also lost his father. That was really tough. I mean, I'm so thankful the Canucks stuck with him through that and through the injuries, because he's been a real joy. Even though it might make some Nucks fans mad, I hope we get Marchand. I don't think he's coming to Vancouver, but he would be a great addition. Toronto's going to have to overpay. Maybe. Depends on who it is. Excuse me. If we sign any UFAs, we are overpaying regardless. I agree. Marchand will come to Vancouver and demand the seat. Nah, come on. What is he talking? Mark Messier here or what? Suter at 5 is steep. I'd resign him for 4. Nothing. Well, that's fine, Jeevan. You can sign him for 4, but he's not signing here for 4 if you can get 5 somewhere else. Sure. He's a nice support player. Support players make about $5 million. Is like that's what support players make. I think he's more than. I think he's a guy. He can play center. He can play wing. He plays penalty kill, and he plays smart minutes for you. He was a massive help to the Vancouver Canucks this year. Marchand on Canucks would make me laugh. You don't think that Suter's a core player? That's fine. It's fine. But Popeye wants us to get Suter. I once had a dream that Zdeno Chara came to the Canucks and demanded the number 33. That's hilarious. The closest thing we've ever had to Zdeno Chara being in Vancouver Canuck is Nikita Zadorov. That's the closest thing we ever had. And he was awesome. Still have dead cap, can't afford it. Yeah, I know. The OEL thing is killing us. Most of our work is going to be by trade. It's very possible. Duchesne, I don't think he's coming home. Nice, no matter what someone signs him for, the Leafs are going to match it. So, yeah, Duchesne's from BC, I believe. No, wait a minute. Is he from BC? Let's just see here. Matt Duchesne. Let me just see. Matt Duchesne. He is from Ontario, everyone. From Ontario. Granlund can play. This guy would be a bargain. Yep. You think that Marner's going to get 13.3? He could. I have Marner at 15 million. No. I mean, yeah, he could be right. I'll see. We'll see if you're right. Yeah, born in Ontario. I think Marner gets 13 or 14, and Utah would definitely pay him that probably. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with Arthur. I'm not sure. Nyes and Luke, done deal. Nyes and Luke are both RFAs. Their teams will match, so I don't think they're going to get out of there. Trouble with guys on Leafs is they are okay in regular season, but absent in the postseason. I mean, at least they make the postseason. I mean, Vancouver Canuck fans can't criticize, right, Murray? But yeah, that's why they're dismantling that team. Just wait until McDavid signs his deal. Wouldn't be surprised if he can only make to the maximum. You can't sign for $20 million. It's impossible. Unless as the cap goes up, maybe you can. But I think the max he can go right now is 15 or is it 14? I'm just trying to remember. Don't go after Rose. He's too small. We can't have two softies as our top. Two C's. Good possibility line A is traded. Been rumors. That's true. Maybe Ehlers doesn't go then. McDavid is worth every penny. I agree. I keep going back to, are you talking about Ryan O'Reilly? Nashville probably going to rebuild. I'd love to have him. Trade for him with draft picks. Okay. I can see the Canucks getting line A. We need scoring. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think we're targeting him. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Would you say formidable top line? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, actually, Kuzmenko is a guy I'd really like to get back, but we'll see. I don't think he's getting back, everyone. Steve, my friend, is in the building. Players don't want to come to Canada anymore. Canucks are going to have a tough time signing anyone. They're in the middle of the pack. In cap space, July 1st, we'll get a lump of coal this year. Oh, bah humbug, Steve. Bah humbug. Yeah, but you might be right. They're going to miss their alarm. I don't know. Maybe the question, maybe what Steve is saying is true. Is they're going to try, but teams are going to be like, no, our players are going to be, no, if you pay me this, I'll consider it. And he'll be like, no. Then we're like, okay. I'll go sign in Utah, or I'll go going to sign in Utah might not be a bad move. They're not that as good, but they're close. Imagine they land a couple free agents this summer. People are going to be talking about Utah, not just because of their jerseys or their new logo or their new name, Mammoth. I do like the new signing, but can't get ready soon enough. Yeah, it's true. This was 2 years ago, Calvin. 2 years ago. That was a 2023 list that I had, bro. Oh, I didn't see that. Maybe, yeah, that was 2 years ago. So maybe I didn't know about that. I'm just saying 2023, guys. It's 2025 right now. Jesse's here. Leafs built through draft didn't work on core 4. Grayman says in Vancouver, where do players live? Do their families even ever encounter vent zombies? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's dangerous there either. Dreamer, do you think Garland's salary goes up off of the World Championships? Well, he signed at $4.9 million right now. It's next season we got it. So yeah, I can see him. He is looking great, everyone. I love his performance. I agree with Eugene. Petey is going to get hounded now. Hounded now? I got banned for saying that, RevTrev. I said sorry, though. Well, what did you get banned for? Not on my channel. Garland should be traded this offseason. His value will never be higher, get bigger and faster, more skill in top six. Reallocate that $5 million. Yeah, that's possible too. I think Garland will be traded. He might be. Carolina should be banned from the playoffs next season. Oh, I read it wrong. Said JT was coaching against your son. Oh, my bad. My bad. Sorry, I read that wrong. Suter at 3.54. He could get more than that. Yeah, I think if he came to the Canucks, I think you would have to pay him 9 or 10. That's what I think. Yeah, maybe. Gentlemen, teams don't win the cup ever. The Nucks need a rat, a crap disturber, a hard hitter, a fighter, maybe a few rats. The playoffs are brutal, unfair, unforgiving, hard hitting. Until the Canucks realize that, they'll never win a cup. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, we're not going for Nurse. The way I see it is in the future is similar to the NFL. Top players like Quinn will get 20 per year, and nobody will want to pay the fourth liners. That's fine. That's what they do now, anyways. Go look at what fourth liners make in the NHL. It's under $1 million usually, unless you're the Vancouver Canucks and you pay Jay Beagle like $4.5 million. It's crazy. Yeah, we came close. If it wasn't for injuries, I think we would have won that cup in 2011. Like, it's one thing to have some grindy, tough players. It's another thing when Raymond gets his back broken. You know, those. Yeah, the Leafs have a lot of pressure to make it better. Sensei Dean says I'd give up Leckermacky. DPD has already shown great things. I'd keep him. It's hard. It's true. You're gonna have to give up somebody, maybe two of them. Yeah, I know. I hate that idea. The Canucks own rentals. We should have traded both of them, but we didn't. If EV40 doesn't look like garbage, 11.6 actually doesn't look like that bad. Yep. Sorry, I was slagging EP40. I'm new here. Very, very bandwagon fan. Gary, I've been called an Elias Pettersson hater for a long time. I hate how he's playing right now. I don't hate him as a person, so I'm okay if you take a shot or two at Pettersson, but I don't know if they're in trouble. I think they can turn it around. Toronto's probably okay. Let's talk about Toronto for a second. I heard a great analogy today, and it was from Mike Johnson. Okay, he was on a podcast. I think it was a TSN podcast, and he said, "I've heard this thing about golf." He said, "It is so easy to go from a 20 handicap to a 7 handicap, but going from a 7 handicap to a 4 handicap or a 3 handicap, that's really difficult. So being a bad golfer to a good golfer is good, but going from a good golfer to a great golfer, that's the most difficult thing to do." And I feel like the Toronto Maple Leafs are not a bad team, but they're not a great team. And to go from a good team to a great team is very difficult. Like the Vancouver Canucks making the playoffs next year is way easier than the Toronto Maple Leafs this season making the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, as a Canuck fan, my goal is it's not so that we would just make the playoffs. I want to win a cup. or a couple cups. Like, honestly, that's got to be the goal, right? Yeah, I think Marner's elite. He's not coming to Vancouver, everyone. Sutter signed here for less than $3 million. He will sign. No, he didn't sign here. We traded for him, and he was making $1.9 million. That's what happened, Calvin. And I'm telling you, the Canucks haven't offered him a contract from what everyone's saying. Some believe that he's worth $5, you know? Hi, Trev. Hey, Gravely, good to see you. Hoping Hawks re-sign 31 goal scorer. Yeah, great. Yeah, he would look good in Vancouver as well. I don't want us spending $15 million on a winger anyways. Senator priority, yep. Ryan Lindgren, Brandon Tanev to Leafs heavier hitting players. Could be, yep. Depth. Max is $18 million right now. I don't. Oh, interesting. Edward says Luke Hughes can't be offered. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, the Devils don't have to worry about that, but they do have to worry about the offer sheets. David Shaw says, my personal opinion is that the Canucks will not be able to make trades they need. No player worth anything will sign with us, and we'll take another step back next year, which was different. Maybe, David, if that happens, I can see them trading Quinn Hughes and doing a full rebuild. But we'll see. We'll see. Steve says, I wonder if the Canucks would be interested in Michael Granlund. That was also mentioned in here already. He might. Yeah. He's older, but he's got talent for sure. I wouldn't rule out anything for the Canucks right now because they are in a pickle, so they're going to have to be creative. Yeah, he said they're going to be aggressive in the trades. What happens if we don't have an assistant coach before the season starts? We will. No, we'll have one before. Oh, would I take Rempe? 100%. Love that guy. I'm telling you right now, if Rempe comes to Vancouver, that would probably be my next jersey. Actually, it's a number of jerseys I'm looking at right now, but Jack, are you serious? I mean, think about it, man. This would be great. I would love it. Toronto has a history of letting people walk for nothing. Do they? My 44th birthday got run meeting friends and good night, man. Good night. RevTrev has his Brad Marchand speech. No. Come on. Mike is in the building. Good to see you, man. Philly would give Suter around 5 for sure. They only have Couturier signed as a center. Yeah, that's a good point. Going from good to great is really tough, I agree, but it's even more difficult if you have no picks or prospects. No pick for the next 3 years in Toronto. Yeah, they're not trying to rebuild. They have zero desire to rebuild. They might rebuild the core, but they're retooling. That's exactly what they're doing. They're retooling. They're trying to win a Stanley Cup, everyone. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens there, Viper. If they were smart, Marner should have been traded 2 years ago. Yep. And we can say the same thing that if we were smart, we should have traded Besser, right? Japan 4, if we decide to trade Hughes and rebuild, this is the year to tank. Yes. Go get Gavin if we're going to do that. Suter is like Ryan Nugent on Edmonton, a Swiss Army. I think Ryan Nugent is twice or 3 times the player that P.S. Suter is, everyone. But yeah, I think Ryan Nugent Hopkins is awesome. Okay, holy, we had an hour and 9 minutes. It'll be an hour and 10 minutes by the time we end tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Great conversation regarding does money talk or the NHL free agency changed. I got videos coming up this week, trade talk videos. Don't miss it out. Make sure you have the like and subscribe, everyone. And thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And I just think it's interesting conversation. As free agency comes, a lot of people are going to ask, hey, RevTrev, what are your thoughts on this? And I'll say, I'm going to point them back to this video. Have a good night, everyone. Go Canucks, go. And we'll see what happens.
Wow.